Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal. I very nearly said Total War. Listen, it's late and my brain is soft. Would you believe it is time for robots to shoot robots? I know, it sounds crazy, but just come with me on this journey. It's going to be great. So we have 4 missions left to do on this world before we leave, and I'm inclined to do the hardest one here first, this 4.5 skull. I think we can maybe just do this without spinning the wheel, at the risk of maybe enraging the blood wheel. This mission's plenty hard, and we're gonna have to bring the penance mech, so I think that's good enough. We're already doing our penance. It'll be okay. So, the question we have to answer is, are we ready for a 4.5 skull mission in the desert? The penance mech is well suited to this environment. What have we actually taken damage-wise? So you have a considerable amount of damage to the right arm of the Warhammer. We're unlikely to use the Warhammer on this mission anyway, so probably that's not super relevant. And yeah, overall damage, pretty small. The Cataphract looks like it has maybe taken a little bit more. It's a little bit of structure damage there. Okay, big damage to that leg. And the arm is fine. Okay, so I might be willing to run the Cataphract under these circumstances, and how bad... My memory is that the Dragonfly got pretty ripped up. Okay, so a bunch of damage to that leg, and a lot of damage to that arm. I would definitely not feel comfortable running the Dragonfly like this. I'd be way too worried about losing that upgraded flamethrower and arm mod. So, do we want to throw in... Basically, do we want to hang out here in orbit for one day so that we can bring the Dragonfly on this mission? Because high difficulty missions in the desert are like it fits well. I think the answer to that question is yes. Yeah, let's go ahead and wait the one day.
I wrapped up that job you asked for, Commander.
Okay, new flashpoints popping up all over the place. So let us go forth and do what now? We have intel that the Federated Suns are conducting military exercises. Okay, go shoot some guys. Sorry, that's not even the right mission description. Here we go. Ambush a convoy. Someone is conducting underground nuclear tests on this supposedly abandoned world. We believe the culprits are operating out of a secret Capellan manufacturing facility. We've picked up transmissions indicating they intend to move their newly developed weapons to a hidden spaceport. Okay. No atomic weapons is one of the few rules of warfare that we've all kind of agreed on. So, at 4.5 skulls, I have to imagine, like, the odds of us finding reasonable salvage here are a lot higher than they usually are. Assault class mechs are the thing we need most. So I guess the question really is, do we want to go up from 3? I think there's no way we take the salvage lower than this. But do we go all the way up? We have a lot of money, and some of the other missions on this world are also worth a lot of money. I think I'm going to do it like this. We're giving up less than 500,000 C-bills for potentially 2 extra relevant parts. It's entirely possible that we're not going to get any relevant parts, of course. But I'm going to choose to trust here, because we're going to want to take more money on some of these other missions anyway. I think we can do it like this. Fingers crossed, everyone. So, high difficulty mission in the desert. I am a big fan of the Dragonfly in this circumstance. Look at me, remembering to move Steamfitter over so that he is not the chattiest member of the group. And then what else do we want to run? I probably, if we're talking about just going hard, every once in a while, I like to just be able to bring the team out of retirement, right? Like, let's throw the crab down. I'd be really tired of using these 4 mechs over and over again if we weren't intentionally stopping and using others. So the wheel is accomplishing a lot of the things that we set out to accomplish. The crab has to have coolant vent. It is completely non-functional without coolant vent, especially in a desert biome. The Dragonfly doesn't really need coolant vent. I might do this. Swap those guys over like that. And then I'm going to do this thing, because Steamfitter really should be driving the Dragonfly. It's just that the Dragonfly should not be in the leftmost slot. And the Stalker can kind of be anybody. It's best that it be somebody who can divide the missile fire. But, I mean, Uncrackable's it's a good solid pilot. Oh wait, right, the Penance Mech. I totally spaced on the fact that we gotta run that Penance Mech. Well, if we're gonna give something up from this team, I think it's actually probably the Crab. And then Penance Mech, get out there. The Penance Mech also really benefit from that heat, from that coolant vent. I think, actually, maybe we don't make any other changes. Like, Foxglove is a reasonable Penance Mech pilot. Yeah, this could work. Just never let the enemies have a turn, that's all. So now, obviously, the overheat strategy is a little bit less compelling against vehicles, but the Dragonfly can melee a vehicle awfully hard. Who needs to overheat your enemies when you can just completely delete them from the battlefield? I should probably go over here while we're loading and make sure that the big list of mechs that we might need for scoring purposes is up on my other monitor, because you gotta know who to kill how. So we still need 5 assaults and 1 heavy at this point, and then a ton of mediums, but we're gonna have a lot of reason to be doing missions in the medium mech range as we try to fix some of our other reputations. Alright, picked up vehicle sounds, Commander. This is it. Move up, make contact, burn them down. Okay. Sounds easy enough. Something tells me it'll get a little bit more complicated in actual play.
Copy that, Commander.
And we get no intro line at all, because Uncrackable is stoic. He's borderline laconic. Where are we getting readings? Ah, there we are. Oh, you know, just a 45-ton mech here in my 4.5 skull mission. That's a little odd.
You betcha.
Also, I'm clustering too much. I gotta remember stray shots and stuff. So this is pretty weird. I'm gonna reserve down here. Hold on. Let's let him come forward. Alright, so a totally normal Phoenix Hawk. Phoenix Hawk's very prone to overheating. Also, just not that hard to kill, and it didn't even jump for some reason.
Reporting.
So we definitely don't want to go flamethrowers in on this thing. I don't think it's a big enough threat, even though the flamethrowers would be very effective here. The question is, do I think we're likely enough to get a kill on him for it to even be worth moving people right now? I think no. I think we want to just go ahead and let the enemy team completely commit. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to make Steamfitter not be the chattiest guy on the team.
Yes, boss.
Other people will give up their chance to speak so that Steamfitter can get a word in. Alright, let's use the Penance Mech here. I'm gonna move toward cover, and we're just gonna prod that guy with the medium laser. Actually, can I fire the PPC? Okay, we'll just use the one PPC. This is mostly just evasion stripping, but obviously a hit would be significant. And I got close enough to get another reading on a 55. So I guess the idea here, the thing that's happening here is it's just going to be a lot of enemies.
Moving out.
A large number of relatively weaker enemies. The vehicles we definitely need to make sure we're taking seriously, though. Wow, that was almost all of that went into that tree right there, right in front of us. And also the tree survived. Okay, so they have an LRM carrier. That's a thing we know now.
Yup.
We need to solve this guy being alive and providing targeting information problem. So the question is, do we go super hard with the LRMs, or do I let the Annihilator finish him? Because I was kind of building up to let the Annihilator do the thing. But we might be able to save some heat.
I'm there.
Like, if we can dump enough damage into his side torso... Because if we call for the middle, we're only going to get half of the missiles clustering up. Now, you know what? I'm gonna take it easy. I'm not gonna take the aim shot. We're gonna shoot just enough weapons not to generate any heat.
Copy that.
And I'm going to trust the Annihilator to handle it.
Reporting. Critical hit.
What can I do for you?
And if I'm gonna be taking the aim shot anyway,
On my
may as
way.
well go at it from the frontal arc.
All weapons are go!
Alright, well those shots kind of went all over the place, but it turned out to still be good enough, because the Annihilator. Okay, so they have one of those super fast, heavy recon guys. And just hold off for the moment.
And watch out.
Alright, and now that they have vision of us, we respond with disproportionate force.
You have orders?
Let's really overdo it. Do I want to jump, maybe? All of his weapons are on the right side, right? AC5... No, wait, this is the one... I'm thinking of the stock Griffin, maybe. This is the one where they're actually divided up pretty evenly. Well, we certainly can't afford to use Precision Strike with everybody. So we're going to have to just pick a side. I appreciate that this guy has so much less in the way of evasion, though.
Confirmed.
We're going to see if we can't burn him down a little faster than the other guy just to... Well, never mind.
Yes, Commander.
I was going to say to remove the ability for many of our enemies to shoot at us, but apparently
On my way.
they are going to have vision either way. I feel like our pilots are really embarrassing us here. Okay, that's not great. We managed to just punch right through
Skipper.
well over 100 armor with remarkable speed.
I hear ya.
Okay,
Moving out.
Wolverine has only 190 center torso health. This guy is less, but we also can't get the straight-on shot with him, so... Let's try to remove this dude right now, if we can. God, the Annihilator's a good mech.
Gotcha.
And this thing's gotta be... It's gotta be running pretty hot, right? Yeah, okay.
Yup.
So... I don't think we're going to try to rely on turning him off. I think we are actually going to go in, like, real hard here. So I'm shooting into that side arc. His weapons are spread out evenly, right? This design. The SRM ammo is on this side. Well, the launcher is on the opposite side. So I guess really trying to dig into the right torso might get us an ammo explosion. Or we might just do enough damage, you know. But unfortunately, we do not have control of the situation anymore. Oh no, my jump jet!
Damage critical.
And a Victor 9B. That, in fact, is a mech that we still need to complete.
Reporting. Major mech warriors? Show them what you got.
Come on, please don't destroy anything. Okay. So we are going to take advantage of the Dragonfly's ace pilot, or rather, yeah, the pilot of the Dragonfly's ace pilot, anyway, and have him fire and then withdraw. And the Penance mech is going to have to pick up the pieces a little bit here. So I think I'm actually going to hit... Let's go Inferno's in on the Victor. Wow, he's remarkably difficult to hit. My thinking here is just that the quick draw is probably pretty close to dead. We can just finish him off and have that be the way we deal with him. I hate how poorly I am able to aim. But it is a 15-point difference. What if I move up to here? Nope, I still get the obstructed shot, sadly. Nope, it's still obstructed all the way out to there. That's a shame. I mean, obviously, I'd like to have the penance mech end its turn in cover, but I think maybe we have to jump out into the open. So it's not really the shot being obstructed that was the problem. It's I was too far away. It looks like. Yeah, I think we need to give ourselves all the chance of hitting with the Infernos that we could possibly get. We don't have enough resolve for 2 aimed shots, but that's just too bad for us. Alright, so PPC off, or... Yeah, I'm gonna cut the PPC off, and probably the laser as well. This shot is just about setting him up, heat-wise. Okay, that was pretty good. I think we actually hit with everything there. Alright, so that takes care of the AC-20 for the turn.
Reporting.
Then Dragonfly can just give this guy everything and then jump away. So 100 center torso health. Jesus. Yeah, that's real bad. Do I need to just run? Now we go into sprint mode. I actually can't even get clear. I mean, I can get pretty far away. With a normal move or a jump, I could jump to here and show my left arm and probably be fairly safe. Just jump back with the intention of using this thing to break line of sight on our next move. Yeah, so, okay, it does make sense to fire. Is the Gallant Urban Assault Vehicle the highest priority target? This guy's 143, so he's not going to get killed either way. We could start working on the Victor a little bit. It's hard to know what the right move is going to be there. I'm just going to shoot at the vehicle with everything.
He's gone.
Primary target damage. Concentrate your fire and bring it down.
Okay, we got some real damage in there, and then just ace pilot yourself back to here, and we turn so that nobody can see the right side of this mech. 4 points of evasion. It's pretty significant. So how much damage exactly did we do here? We left this thing with only 31 health. Okay, I find that very promising. My inclination here is going to be to focus on that vehicle. But we probably don't have to hit the vehicle with everything, right? So let's say we give him 31, so I probably want to shoot him for... Honestly, one LRM launcher is fairly likely, or one LRM-20 is fairly likely to get the job done. But we'll give him that plus the 10, just in case. Try to make sure we're not underkilling it.
Affirmative.
Primary target damage.
Alright, I'm pretty sure we actually destroyed the front armor, not the side armor there. Come on. Oh, man.
That hit something good.
Really? We couldn't have one missile hit center instead of that leg? Ugh. That's super annoying. Well, my hope is that next turn we can kill that guy with some split fire from the stalker and not have to spend an entire turn fighting him.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Alright, I really wish the Annihilator had Precision Strike available, because I would love to try to disable the Victor's giant cannon.
Coordinates received.
But I think we're just going to give the Victor absolutely everything, even without the aim, and we're just going to hope that it works out. Honestly, that worked out pretty well. Now, I would love to not core the Victor, because obviously we do benefit from its parts. But we have to make sure that we're being smart about this. Uncrackable,
Mech warriors?
is that the best way for you to express the thought that you were trying to express there?
Receiving you.
It is worth thinking that maybe we just have the Penance mech kill the Quick Draw by overheating it. You can overheat this guy instead. But the Quick Draw's center torso will completely lose will completely lose structural integrity if he is overheated, so that's definitely a thing that is worth considering. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yep, we got there. Oh. I think that's a snub PPC vehicle. That's a cool thing. So you can't hit anybody, that's fine. You are running away. We're just going to fall back to safety with him, and then we'll hopefully put together a new plan. Maybe we can rotate back into combat.
I'm catching some serious shit here, Commander.
Yeah, Stalker took over 300 damage in very, very short order there. Okay, so how do we want to do this? I would like to take the Victor down either by legging it or by knocking the head off. We have to be a little bit careful of not to not accidentally core it, though. I think we're gonna step the Annihilator way up. I'm gonna cool and fent, obviously. And then we're gonna go for the face here. And if we end up screwing this up and coring him, I'm not gonna be heartbroken about it. But so we do want to shoot him with an amount of damage that is small enough that if we do hit him in the head, it doesn't also core him. So we want to turn off some of this stuff. Let's say we do... This is fairly likely not to result in a kill at all. I'm going to turn on all 3 of the AC-10s.
Here we go.
Okay. We did, in fact, get the headshot without destroying the rest of the mech. So that's 3 pieces. I bet that's a finished Victor. I don't remember exactly how much. Come on. No, stop. Ugh. Yeah, that's going to be a knockdown.
My internals are taking a beating.
Well, Uncrackable was going to the hospital anyway, so I guess this isn't a big change.
I'm wounded, Commander.
Boy, they sure do, break line of sight. They sure do have a lot of total damage output. The PPC carrier, I think, is much less dangerous than the LRM carrier.
All weapons.
Enemy reinforcements detected.
Oh good, additional enemies. That seems like a very sensible thing. Well, I mean, we knew there was going to be a reinforcement pod, right? Because the mechs we were seeing here were too small.
They're getting the angle on me.
Oh really? They get to just move right away.
Waiting for orders.
Okay, I am not going to be able to kill that thing. But I can approach it while in cover. Turns that I'm not showing my back armor there. That's interesting. I think this is a more dangerous enemy than this is? Maybe? We'll just give it the PPC.
Engage.
Okay, it's not bad.
Yes, Commander.
We don't necessarily have to kill these reinforcements. Totally could just bail if we wanted to. We don't, we aren't going to get all that much extra damage, or extra money, rather, from completing it, because, you know, our base pay is pretty low.
Reporting.
Alright, you're just going to stomp this dude out of existence, because we need to cool down.
This is gonna be good.
And the Annihilator does enough damage with the stomp that no matter where that landed, it was going to be a kill, as long as it landed.
Orders.
Okay, you can probably just have at this guy.
Here we go.
Hopefully for enough.
Get advance to the LZ, Commander. I'm coming in hot.
Alright, so now we at least won't be sustaining any additional fire.
Awaiting orders.
And we're pretty lucky here that the Annihilator
Moving out.
took so little damage. We're going to be able to have it tank quite effectively, I think. In fact, it has not been shot a single time. So we just have to make sure that we go down the road here with the Annihilator pretty much in front. Independence mech is also doing all right.
Commander.
You only have 4 evasion right now. Yeah, but your armor's still holding. I'm okay with letting him come forward. Interesting choice not to stick to the road. A little frustrating. I was hoping he would be dumb. Instead, he has been marginally not dumb. Very slightly not dumb.
Confirmed.
Okay, that's one of those avenging angel vindicators that's so easy to kill. Well, I think it's unlikely that we're going to get to volley enough times for us to run out of Inferno ammo, so we may as well just go ahead and give him everything.
Firing.
That was pretty sad, though. Ooh, Catapult K2. That is the new high priority mech.
Reporting.
Fortunately, we have lots of resources.
Confirmed.
Good to go.
I have high hopes for some annihilation, and we do not need this thing. So I am fine just burrowing right through the middle and hoping to get an ammo explosion on that machine gun ammo bin.
Firing everything I've got.
Yep, okay, we got the ammo explosion immediately.
Stay down.
Most of the weapons had not even been discharged yet. Alright, Stalker, just try to remain at a safe distance. Even through this guy's bulwark, we should be able to do some pretty scary damage. He does not have a lot of numbers here.
Locking off. All weapons.
Oof, terrible clustering. So much of that went to the arms.
Awaiting orders.
I think we can have you we gotta be pretty careful with this thing. You know what? I'm gonna have it... we'll move to right here. And the next turn we'll jump up on the cliff and we'll try to execute a flanking maneuver around the cliff. Oh, I can't quite sensor lock anything. Never mind. But now, if we're leaving the Dragonfly out of it, we've reduced it to a 3-on-3, and I have to imagine my 3 mechs are going to be able to take their 3
How's
mechs.
it going?
Oh, can you really not make it into the trees? You can if we jump. Alright, that'll do. So my right side is weaker.
Hitting off.
Let's show left as much as possible here. And then we are pretty much just making sure to give this guy the Infernos.
On it.
There we go.
Target's taken a critical hit.
Sometimes you just have to manipulate the passage of time, such that you get to go twice in a row. Oh, that guy is generating way more heat than he safely can. Yep, he's almost overheat thresholded himself right there. So this is going to be fun. You know what? I get a free
Here we go.
aim here. Free precision strike. We may as well take it. So how's his center doing? It's not doing super well.
Target acquired. Locked in.
I feel like for the amount that we shut people down by overheating them,
Confirmed.
we don't get to take advantage of that. We don't get to take advantage of that free aim shot very often. Do we just want to try to gut this guy? He's tough. He is a tough one. I think the answer is yes, though.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
Probably going to take more than one go. Never mind. That the amount of damage this thing outputs is just, it's too great. Too great for fairness.
Orders.
Alright, I think that makes it pretty obvious that it is safe to do this thing. We may as well precision strike. I think there's a pretty good chance that we get this with the precision.
Firing.
No, we did not. That's embarrassing.
Critical hit. Oh, hell yes. It's on now.
Shadowhawk 2H. Not a mech we need. Okay, so we would have been fine at 3 points of priority salvage. I mean,
Let's do this.
Who knows? Maybe it's going to turn out that actually there's a really good piece of weapons tech or something available to us.
Knocking on target. That
Alright.
ain't something good.
So we managed to completely melt his leg, and he's in really terrible shape now.
Awaiting orders.
This is another situation where it's perfectly reasonable for you to chime in with that large laser.
Lifting off.
And this would be a really convenient time to get a kill so that we don't have to worry about having somebody else shoot at him. Unfortunately, couldn't quite make it happen. This is going to cost even more resources to deal with.
Confirmed.
Interesting decision-making
Waiting
there,
on you,
though.
Commander.
We want to go in through the side armor? I guess it doesn't really make a difference. His side armor is thin enough that
Got it.
we're not really losing a ton of damage by going this way.
Roger that. Firing on target. Bang! You're
And you know, sometimes you just have to push the entire right side of an enemy out through the left side of that enemy.
I got you.
I figured it wasn't worth aiming that. I'm trying to make sure we have resources for next, or this turn at this point. But we weren't going to be able to kill that guy anyway with just the 2 LRM pods firing.
Yes.
Oh, he may have run into melee combat range. He did, in fact. I don't know if we're going to start with you, though. Hold on. Let's reserve down to 1. Let's let the Annihilator lead the punch.
For the right move.
And this is definitely punching time for the Annihilator. We need to not shoot any guns for a second. A brutal chest bump.
Reporting.
Was that center? Ooh, it was center. That's actually really nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is what we do. Let's go to the middle. We only have to get him for 56. That could have turned out a lot worse. I was a little worried when the reinforcement lance came in,
Mission successful.
but we managed to put that together. So I probably should update the the mech scoring sheet here. Oh wow, really? That was a huge amount of payment increase. Now I wish I had taken more money. I should probably update the spreadsheet with the number of pieces of the mechs that we need. Yeah, because like if I had known, I guess it wouldn't have made a difference because we didn't have any other things that we particularly needed here. So we may as well like grab a piece of a Shadowhawk because we're working toward that now. And is there anything else really interesting here? Honestly, no. A remarkable amount of loot dropped and it was almost all base quality and not particularly interesting stuff. Well, that being the case, I guess we take mech parts mostly? I mean, we're going to get a pretty significant portion of the total salvage pool here. This could potentially be useful, and then, like, of all this stuff, what do I even care about? I guess we'll take the other Victor 9B parts? It is the largest mech, so if we're talking about stuff to sell, putting together a second Victor 9B would probably be the thing that would bring us the most money. Okay, just a bunch of whatever. Nothing interesting there, but stuff to go on the stockpiles. Listen, when you are running a giant mech company in space with no real like home garage to return to, sometimes it's nice to just have a stockpile of some random garbage part in case you go through a lot of them very quickly or something, you know. Sometimes you put 10 of something on a mech, and then the mech gets shot to pieces, and then you need to replace all of the stuff. Alright, so that's one more assault class mech off the list. We're getting close to pulling a bunch more score out of that. So there are 2 3.5s. Now our mechs are in kind of rough shape again. Why don't we Why don't we try pursuing this? This'll be one big enemy, right? This might be a little bit easier to do while we're sort of kind of shorthanded. And also, this mission is low enough difficulty that I think we really owe the Blood Wheel a little bit of attention here. Let's just see what it would have of us today. Tell us, how may we prove our blood wheeliness? You know, you can run it hot out here in the desert. That seems like a great plan. Oops, I forgot gotta hide this guy. So, fewer than 5 points of heat efficiency, bars of heat efficiency. But plus 0.5 difficulty modifier. Okay. So we can run a 4-skull lance out on this. We know that we're going after one big mech. And there's not a huge amount of money available here, but I'm worried that at 3.5 skulls, there's just too many mechs that we don't need that could show up in the loot pool. I think I'm just going to leave this one like it is. 4 is still plenty of priority salvage. Looks like we're about to jump up a level with the Taurians. Oh yeah, we're going to push into that top tier. So, no mechs with... Am I allowed to have 5s? I can't remember how I wrote this. Fewer than 5 bars of heat efficiency. Okay. Let's say we try not to run anything that's horribly wounded. The Penance mech also probably not on the table. The Annihilator is acceptable, although obviously it's a little heavy. What do we have left available to us? This Cataphract, which even with its reduced heat efficiency, could still be effective in the desert. We could run the Hoplite, and then we get 1 skull more of weight. So obviously we will not be playing the Crab. It could be... Honestly, maybe it is the Penance mech. Excuse me. Excuse me? Is that what you say when you yawn? Yeah, you know what? I'll just run the Penance mech. Being able to overheat people is cool. So... Who is piloting the Penance mech today? It should probably be somebody with... multi-target. Yeah, you know what? You'll do just fine. And how much else do we want to change here? We probably want... I think I do want Foxglove on the Hoplite. Hold on a second. I like this lineup, and I'm bummed out about the fact that the game will not save any of what we just did there, and I will have to reassign it all manually. But we've also been getting Foxglove a lot of XP, and this would probably be a good time to make sure that we are leveling him up. Did I not click Mech Warriors? It's probably be a good time to make sure that we are leveling him up and giving him all of the points of gunnery to which he is entitled. Yeah, okay, he's got some stuff banked. That is going to help a tremendous amount. Also, 6 piloting is a very important amount of piloting.
Mech Warrior training complete.
Alright, all of a sudden, Foxglove's starting to look like a real professional over here. I don't think anybody else who is in that squad should need to spend points right away. So where was I? Ah, yes. Assassinate. We're going to leave it like that. It really should save this stuff in whatever state it was when you last hit back. Okay, so you make a fine pilot for this thing now. Steam Fitter and the Cataphract, I think, makes a reasonable amount of sense. And then just somebody with multi-target in this thing. Trampoline in this thing. Right. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable way to do this. So we don't actually need to do anything special while we are out. We just have to try not to accidentally cook our pilots to death in the cockpit of their mech. Man, I really, really, really hope we see some relevant lootable chassis here, because, man, oh man, is there a lot of stuff in the medium class that can just show up on all kinds of missions that does not count toward your class completion. All Alright, we need an immediate deployment. We've been in pursuit of a pirate terrorist for months. We've finally tracked them to this planet. They've gone to ground, but earlier today one of our orbital units spotted them moving on the surface. Okay. Should be easy enough. Just run into this guy and shoot him a lot. And presumably he will have lots of friends trying to prevent us from doing that, and we will probably disregard them and just shoot him a lot. Okay, got an engine signature.
So lovely. So serene. Moving to position.
Again, it turns out there's nothing you can do. There's no way to stop Steamfitter from talking.
Certainly.
I mean, you gotta admire his resolve to stay on brand.
Uh-huh.
Kind of. A little. Admire is too strong a word. Okay, let's have the cataphract move first. Actually, no. Let's have the mechs that are in the back move first.
What's the plan?
On my way.
This way we will know where it is safe to put the cataphract. Okay, so I'm assuming... Oh, no, you know what? I was about to say, I'm assuming this is going to be another situation where we're seeing a 50-tonner because they're going to throw 2 lances at us at the same time. But I got to remember, we're playing on a slightly lower difficulty here. A 50-tonner is not quite as embarrassing as it otherwise might be. And that's just a javelin.
Double walk on me.
Alright, so they're locking the Annihilator, which is pretty great. And he immediately re-stealths. Oh no, okay, he's over here. Who do we want to be next? I don't think it is the Penance Mech. I think we hold off for a minute here. Oh, the Hunchback 4P. That is a mech that we still need to complete.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So, I'm going to reserve. Never mind, I was going to say we're going to have the Annihilator try to shoot that thing's head off. But I'm going to have to wait a second before I can attempt that. Alright, that's something with a fair amount of missile pods on it.
I hear ya.
Probably like a catapult or something.
I'll wait here for now.
Oh hey, and that's an Atlas 7D. That is also a mech that we still need parts for. So now I sort of wish I'd pushed us up above 4. Also, what on earth is an Atlas 7D doing on a... Oh, I guess he's the pirate leader, right? This is a pretty serious mech, as you can see here from its armaments. We are not going to attempt to take that thing down first, obviously. But it is scary. So let's have the Annihilator run up.
Don't need to tell me twice.
And we're not going to be able to lance this guy's head clean off. But I might still go for the head and just try to take him down via headshot over the course of a couple of rounds. Because I'm thinking we do need to... we do need to start wrapping up some of these mediums. There are a lot of mediums we need yet. Alright. This is maybe risky.
Got it.
Okay, we got one good clean headshot. Never mind. Multiple good clean headshots.
Gotcha.
Alright, decent loot in the pool. Hard to feel mad about that.
What can I do for you?
I'm thinking the Penance Mech maybe tries to... Oof. Chance to hit with Infernos is real bad.
Orders?
But I think maybe that's the move, is we try to Inferno that guy down a bit. So let's have the Cataphract move forward to, like, over here. Or maybe I fall back... No, I want to keep everybody cloaked from the Atlas, if possible.
Confirmed.
So the Thunderbolt 5 SE is not not the Thunderbolt singular that we still need parts from. The Javelin's a little bit dangerous, I guess. This thing is definitely more damaging. It's just also, it's so much tougher. Okay, we got something done there.
Waiting on you, Commander.
I'm actually really worried about the hoplite, to the extent that I'm going to have it take a different path that leads it not into stealth, but at least further away from the Atlas.
Alpha strike.
Okay, we got two hits there, and they went to the same part and everything. You have to appreciate that clustering without being told to cluster. And that is going to make it easier for Penance mech to do something meaningful to that guy. But I'm gonna, perhaps foolishly,
Don't need to tell me twice.
I'm gonna run over here and we're gonna give him the Infernos.
Right, Commander.
Keep in mind, we don't have to overheat him right now, because obviously we will go before him on this turn. So this turn we need to hit him for enough to shut him down, but I bet that's going to be very doable.
They've got a lock on me. I hear ya.
And I like this spot I have here where I'm difficult for all of the other enemy mechs to see. I think we're going to keep this up.
Time to die.
Alright, so that should shut him off pretty easily. It would be really cool if we could now get the Annihilator over to the Atlas and take its head off while aiming for its head is free. But unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately he's going to go at the very end of the turn order.
Receiving you.
We could try to make this happen. I think I'm going to go for it. Because obviously,
On the move.
taking the head off of this Atlas is very powerful. Sorry, I don't need to aim. It's part of the beauty of the plan.
Copy that.
Alright, just put a particle cannon blow straight through the head. We are definitely going to have to start being more careful about our heat, though. Our mechs are starting to turn a little red.
I'm under heavy fire.
It's the reason we paint them this way. It's harder to tell if they're overheating when they're already the colors of having overheated.
Coordinates confirmed.
Okay, let's try to drop this dude, shall we? I guess we could just... I could go aim shot for the leg, and we could probably take him out that way.
Unleashing hell.
There we go, we got him.
We can do this. Let's go.
Kind of blew off more pieces than I meant to, but
I hear
that's,
ya.
I suppose, sort of the nature of the beast.
You betcha.
So, Thunderbolts often have ammo in their center torso, yep, and this guy is no exception.
All weapons are go.
I don't know that we needed the ammo explosion, because obviously it's just like a huge amount of total damage.
There's work to do.
But it is nice to get the ammo explosion. Sorry, the Atlas was not the terrorist. This guy is the terrorist.
Waiting on you, Commander.
That's wild. How is there just a random Atlas on a 3.5 skull mission? It's not even... Okay. I mean, it is what it is. And that is a catapult. Not wild about this.
Primary target damage.
I would certainly feel a lot better about it if we could have gotten the Infernos in on him.
Moving out.
Yeah, I really just don't like... I don't like how tough this guy is going to be. We're going to like deal a reasonable amount of damage to him this turn, and then he's going to turn and run, and we're going to have a hard time catching him. This is my greatest concern. And you know what? We're just going to go for the head. We've had pretty good luck with the headshots so far this mission. Oh,
We can do this.
it's always the PPC, too.
That's a kill.
Okay, well that went smoother than I thought it was going to. Yeah, that, I've talked a lot of trash about PPCs in the past, but it turns out upgraded extended range particle cannons with another plus on them on top of that are pretty okay as far as weapons go. And no actual lasting damage to the mechs. This is good. This was good. So, Hunchback, okay, wonderful. That's what I was hoping to see, that we only needed one part of that, so we can take 3 pieces of the Atlas. That is huge, actually. Also got some catapults. And that was exactly the right amount of priority loot to need. So I feel very, very good about that. This has been a good episode. I'm gonna call it here, at the risk of jinxing it if we continue forward after me saying all these things about how well it's going. You know, you got to give your bad luck a little bit of time to cool down before it overflows and pounces on you. So, Party Mech is an awfully fun mech, but it is definitely just going to storage. We just don't have need of it. At this point, we don't really have need of mechs except for scoring purposes. And I think, like I was saying, that seems like a good place to call it for today. I think we are pushing it. If we try to jam one more in here, it's going to end up being an hour-long mission where everybody dies. So, come back next time tomorrow for that. God, I hope that's not what happens. And we'll see you then.